Hello, welcome to Wednesday Stamping Fun. I'm just getting started and I'll wait for the thumbs up from Bill to make sure that everything's aligned okay and we're good and ready to go. All right. So tonight is Wednesday, January 13th. Wow, I can't believe we're almost halfway through January in 2021 already. But I'm excited to be here this evening. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for joining. So tonight I'm going to talk about two different stamp sets and play with those. I've got the Art Gallery and the Corner Bouquet. The Art Gallery is a bundle and it comes with some beautiful dies. And it's part of the Fine Art Floral out of the new mini catalog. It's an absolutely gorgeous suite that we'll be talking about and using a lot of the products from. As I said, it has the bundle. It has this gilded leafing that I can't wait to show you and play with. Some sticky powder, some absolutely gorgeous paper, some gold acetate design that we're going to be working with this evening. And then the other one that I'm bringing in to go with it is the Corner Bouquet, which is a free set out of the Celebrations catalog. So if you spend $50, which is basically your bundle cost, then you could get this one for free to go with it. And so you'll see how I've put these together. Hi, Maureen. Thanks for joining us. So I do want to show you a little bit of the products before I jump in and show you what I'm going to be doing. This is the paper with this suite. I just love these papers. It's almost like an impressionist painting. This actually mimics the embossing folder that comes with this suite. I mean, these papers are gorgeous just on their own. And of course, like with all their papers, they are double-sided. These colors too are just right up my alley. I absolutely love them. They remind me of fabric. So my quilter's eye goes to this too to say, oh, wouldn't that be a beautiful piece of fabric? Not only for a card, but for a quilt. Hey, Barb. So you can see they're just beautiful. It just looks like a painting. You can feel the brush strokes in them. Not literally, but it seems that way. So those are our papers, and then I'm hoping that this doesn't give, well, I guess it is sort of giving a glare there. Let me see if I can grab a little piece here. This is an acetate paper. Hopefully the glare is not too bad. Let me see if I angle it a little. There we go. So this is one of the designs. There's 3 different designs in here that I just think are so pretty. This one mimics that one page where you can see it sort of cuts down on the side. So it's a perfect overlay for that. And then this last one sort of has like that geometric design. I just think they're gorgeous. Let me get them out of there though so we can stop the glare. And let me bring in the cards we're going to make this evening. So the first one, we're going to work with the gilded leafing. I call it gold leaf for some reason, but it's gilded leafing. So if I mispronounce it, forgive me. I just thought this sort of had a very elegant look to it. This card, we're going to make this evening because it'll take us the most time. This card is made with a black card base. That's the 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, a white insert. And then the front, I took the DSP and then I cut a piece of that acetate that has the gold on it and I glued those 2 down. Now this I glued, and then for the acetate I just put a few glue dots in the 4 corners and where my black piece is going to be over top. So these were cut that 1/4 of an inch different. It's the 4 by 5 1/4. And then I took another piece of black and I actually cut it to be 3 3/4 by 5. And then I cut it on an angle. Hey, Deborah, to get this corner piece. Because this corner piece really flows with this corner Bouquet. So to do this gilded leafing, I mean, I don't even want to sneeze tonight. This stuff is so lightweight and blows everywhere. We'll get to open it in a minute. You have to have, and it's part of the suite, it's called Heat and Stick Powder. It looks like an embossing powder, and you heat it like an embossing powder, but you have to be really careful not to overheat this, because when this one heats, the minute it melts, it becomes sticky, so you can glue things to it. But everything else you do is the same. So I have my embossing buddy here, because I only want this powder to stick where I stamp. So this embossing buddy is going to help remove the oils from this paper. All right, so we'll put my little embossing buddy back. And then I'm going to use the Versamark, and I'm going to ink up my stamp very well. You can see it gets a nice sheen on it. Looks like there's something stuck. Okay, so we'll get some good ink on there. And then I'm just going to line this up in the corner. Let it sit there for a second to absorb that Versamark onto the paper. All right. Oh, there we go. I hope you can see this. You can see the shine, I hope, on there. All right, so now what I do is I actually use coffee filters when I sprinkle my powder. Or if my bowl was bigger, I moved it to here so I can use a spoon. I could try to do it over top of here. I'm just going to sprinkle this on. Or you can use a coffee filter and fold that up and dump it back in. So I want to make sure I have it. So like I said, it's just like, it's an embossing powder. All right. So I'm just going to see if I can get those little flecks off of there. I don't have a paintbrush with me, or I would. Let me grab a paintbrush really quick. All right, I'm just going to remove these little flecks on the bottom where I don't want them to be. Okay, so I'm going to turn on my heat gun over here to run, but hopefully you can still hear me. The thing with this one is, as soon as this powder melts, you want to stop heating it because you want it to stay sticky. You don't want to overheat it and lose that stickiness. All right, so here we go. So it starts to melt. It melts rather quickly. All right, and we are done. So I think it actually melts a little faster than maybe some other embossing powders do. So I can see that shine there. Now the fun part happens. We get to open up this box, and like I said, don't sneeze because it is so lightweight and so delicate, it just wants to fly away. You're just going to take these pieces and put them on your piece, and with your fingers, just rub those on. You'll get some big pieces, some little pieces. And just gently push them onto that sticky glue that we heat set. This has got like an old world looking color to it. So I'm just going to throw some pieces down here. And I'm just going to keep applying these. I will tell you, it makes a mess. I was doing this, I think it was last night or the night before, and it's like glitter. It gets everywhere, but it's fun. And I think the look that it gives you on a card is just so much prettier than glitter can be. So we'll just keep picking up some little pieces. I hope everybody's doing well this evening. All right, so we're getting those on there. You can keep picking them up and putting them back on. I think there's a spot here in the, there we go. Now, you can take these pieces and dump them back in because they're all reusable, right? When you get some of these big ones. What I'm going to do is try to put this lid on real quick. So now that I have this lightly burnished into the sticky, I'm going to bring in a brush that I have that's not been used on any die or anything. It's sort of like a bristle brush. It's stiff but soft. So I'm just going to take the edge of it now and I'm just going to rub over this. And you can see what it's doing is it's going and removing all the gilding that isn't stuck to that glue. And it really brings out that design. And there we go. And we'll just brush that off. And there we go. Our piece is done. Hopefully you can see that okay. Let me take my paper out of here and dump it off. Oh well. It shows up real well on black carpet too, I will tell you that. All right, so we have this now. So what I'm going to do with this, I am going to pop this up on my card. I wanted this card to have some dimension to it. So we'll just get some dimensionals. And I'm going to take a couple of teeny tiny ones and get close to the edge there. All right. Peel those off. Now, when I did the wording, I really like this set because of the die set. Just stick this down here in the corner. Come on, there we go. So the die set, it has just what to say. So you can use those all together. You could just use the word just or say. Really depends. So thanks for letting me know, Barb. I appreciate that. So what I did was I cut these out of black. And when I was cutting them out of the paper, I used the double-sided sticky paper on the back before I die cut it because it just is so much easier. And then I wanted these to have dimension. So I double cut them. And then what I did was I stuck 2 layers together. So it made it easy with them both being stickers. So now all I have to do tonight, instead of you watching me painstakingly stick the words together, I can just take these, peel off my sticker, and start laying these in. But I thought the 2 layers just added that extra little bit of dimension and made it pop off the card. So that's why I've done it that way. This is a very, very pretty set, Deborah. I really like it. Oop. All right. Now, you could leave this card absolutely just like this. And this one I may do that with. Just want to say, and then put your message inside, whatever that is. This set also comes with a couple dies for labels. And when I did the other card, I did the same thing. I used my Versamark. I stamped I Miss You, and I used that gilded leafing to rub that in there and put it on there. I'm not sure I'm going to put it on this card. I may want to say something else with this card when that goes in the mail. But so that's how we did that to get that look. So I'm glad you guys like it. So that's that one. The other one that we're going to do is just a little fun card. So this one is done with Bumblebee cardstock. And then the DSP that comes with this suite. This is the back side of the blue we used on the other card. So the card is cut. Let me get my card here. This card is cut at 5.5 by 8, scored at 4 1/4. So it's the different type of folded card. And then the first piece that I have here is a 2" by 5.5" piece of DSP that we're going to put across the center. And then the focal piece. This is a 3 1/4" square. And I'm just going to put this straight down on top next. And we'll put that on here. So the next one, I use the die cut. So we're going to work on that. I'm going to bring in a piece of scratch paper here, and I'm going to show you how I stamp this flower. Now, this comes with multiple stamps for so you get a textured look with those 3 colors. The other thing you can do is after you stamp your first color, that second one you can do again with that gilded leafing. So you would do Versamark, rub in your gold leafing. So that would be really pretty too. But since we did it on the other card, I thought, well, this one I'm going to leave plain. I'm going to bring in 3 inks. I'm going to use Petal Pink, Poppy Parade, and Terracotta Towel. So my first flower is the solid piece. We're going to stamp this in Petal Pink. Make sure we let that paper absorb that ink. Then the next one is more of the outline stamp, which is this one. So this was our first, this was the second. This is the one where I was saying you could bring in that Versamark, do your heat and stick powder, and then do some gold leafing. Now these don't have to perfectly match up, right? This is a flower in nature. They don't have to be perfect. So I'm gonna put that on there. Now, that's basically it for that flower, but I wanted a little more dimension on mine. So I went ahead and did Terracotta Towel and brought in this little piece for in the center to give it a little more dimension. And I just popped that down there. And then all we would do is we would take this die and we would put this on here and run it through the die cutter. And there's our flower. So, but through the magic of being prepared, we've already got that die cut. The other one that I have here is the leaf that we're going to do, and that's done with Mossy Meadow. And I have another piece of scratch paper here. So I'm going to do some Mossy Meadow. Stamp that out. I love this impressionist watercolor look. And then again, I would take my die, run that through the die cutting machine, and I have my leaves cut out. So we are going to take these. I already have some dimensionals on them. All my fingernails have broken this week, so I'm having trouble pulling everything off. I'm just going to put that right there. Take the leaf, and we're just going to slide it up, slide it underneath there, wherever you think you like it, and put that down. And then again, I took that larger label die, cut it out of Whisper White. I stamped it in the, man, I just knew the name and it left a Poppy Parade. And I'm going to put this down. And there we go. And then I do want to show you what I did on the inside here. So I have another piece of paper. So for this one, this is the stamp. It's the stamp with this one. But I wanted my stems to be in the green. So I'm going to bring in my petal pink. And when I ink this up, I'm just going to hit the petals on it. Okay? So get that all done. And then I brought in my Stampin' Right marker in Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to color the stems and the leaves. I'm even going to come in here and go up a little higher. Get these little stems in between. Now, this has been sitting for a while. So what you do to make sure that your ink is all active before you stamp it is you sort of breathe on it. A little bit like you're fogging it up. And then I can come in here and stamp that down. Isn't that so pretty? Oh my goodness, I just love these flowers. So in this case, I'm going to bring back the Poppy Parade. This little one again that I used in the center of the big one. And we're just going to come in here. I mean, just a card with these flowers on it would be gorgeous. A little ribbon, a bow. So all I have to do now is get my die cutter out and I'll have that other flower for a third card. These were fun, easy to make. Let me pull back what we did this evening. So again, this is the art gallery. You can do the suite that has everything in it, or you can do just this art gallery bundle with these two. It's $50.25. So when you do that, you get a freebie out of the celebrations, and this corner bouquet, I think, just matches it so well. So this is what we made with that one. And then this was our other card this evening. So I hope you enjoyed it. I always like doing these and showing you what I've come up with. They're a lot of fun. So if you have any questions at all, please reach out to me. You can message me or call me. So I appreciate you taking the time to join me this evening. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you back here hopefully next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.